back. So we're going to start a second lecture.
Okay.
So we're going to do this. Normally we draw something, but we're going to do this with a diagram. So the mind is like an ocean. Marshall says the mind is like an ocean. And just like an ocean has many superficial waves, we have thousands of thoughts every day, right? And the top part of the ocean is what they call the conscious mind. That's the 5 to 15% of your mental potential that you're using. And deep within yourself is the unconscious level. And the very bottom of the ocean is the source of all thoughts. And all thoughts comes from that source. And just like a bubble, it pops up. And before you became aware of the thought, okay, I'm going to follow this lecture that Ian Arada is presenting. Before you became aware of that thought, it started at the source of thought. And as it approaches more and more active levels, only on the most active level, the conscious level, the 5 to 15% level, you become aware of the thought. Oh, I'm going to follow this lecture. So what do we do with TM? With TM, we follow the opposite road of a development of a thought. We go inwards to finer and finer levels of thoughts until we go beyond the finest thought and we transcend that thought. We go beyond. Transcend means going beyond. And we go to more and more peaceful mind, more and more settled mind, more and more orderliness. The surface level is very chaotic. The silent depths of the ocean is very orderly and very silent. And you reach the source of energy, creativity, intelligence, peace is what they call pure consciousness or transcendental consciousness, is what they call restful alertness. The physiologist calls it restful alertness. The physicist calls it the unified field, the source of all creation. The Vedic scientist calls it samadhi or Satchitananda, that consciousness which is blissful. And you reach that in a very effortless, very spontaneous, very natural way. And how is this possible? If you have the ability to run hard, you also have the ability to run slower, and you have the ability to walk, and you have the ability to stand still. The ability to run hard has in it the potential to totally stand still. Similarly, if you can have thousands of thoughts every day, you also have the ability to think less thoughts and less thoughts, and you have the ability to totally have no thoughts. The ability is there, and the TM technique is the technique, the key to unlock the door of creativity and intelligence within your mind, right? In a very effortless and natural way. And how does this work? You say, oh my God, I can't still my mind because it's so chaotic. I can't concentrate. I won't be able to do that. That's all right. You don't need to do anything, because the Transcendental Meditation technique utilizes what they call the natural tendency of the mind. And what's this natural tendency of the mind? The natural tendency of every person is to go to a source where there's more harmony, more happiness, more fulfillment, more and more and more. This natural tendency of the mind to want more fulfillment, more money, more happiness, more joy, more fulfillment of desires is what we use in our everyday life to achieve our desires. Everything we do in life, we're looking for more. More happiness, more clients, more fulfillment, more joy, more respect, more love. It's a natural tendency to grow towards that state of maximum. All right, so everything we do in life, we're looking for more happiness, more joy, more knowledge, more fulfillment, more money, more status, more fame, more and more. That natural tendency is what we use in Transcendental Meditation, because Marcia explains, there's a source of bliss within yourself. There's a source of infinite happiness within yourself. the mind will be naturally drawn to the bottom of the ocean, because that bottom of the ocean acts like a magnet for the mind. Because how do we know that this exists? If you have the radio on and you're playing CDs, and you're enjoying the music on the CDs, and at a certain point, a more beautiful melody comes out of the radio. What do? Naturally, you will turn out the radio a little louder and go from less happiness to more joy, more happiness. So the mind gravitates very naturally, very effortlessly from less to more, less to more. Similarly, what happens is because of our five senses, we're looking for happiness and joy through our five senses, what we see, what we hear, what people say about us. We look for happiness in that way. And that's natural, that's normal, it's healthy. The funny thing is, Marcia explains, you won't find that joy, that real joyfulness outside there. You'll find it when you turn the attention within. And you need a vehicle. And that vehicle to draw the attention within is called a mantra. So there's two things that you will learn in the Thijm technique. You will learn a mantra, but this mantra doesn't have a meaning like Om Namah Shivaya or anything else. It is just a life-supporting influence that you get when you learn the mantra. And every person has an individual selected mantra by the teacher, all right? A teacher is trained for 4 or 5 months to teach you how to use that mantra properly. So there were two things that you will learn. You will learn the mantra that is for yourself, that you have to keep for yourself, and the technique, how to use the mantra properly, how to use the mantra effortlessly. And these two things is what you learn in the Thijm technique. And the 3 days of checking after the initiation is what is to teach you how to use the mantra properly and effortlessly, how to use it effortlessly. Okay, so because if you look at the middle of the bubble, that has more silence, more peace, more happiness. So on the gross level, the mind is naturally drawn to that area and effortlessly drawn to that area where there's more peace, more happiness, more joy. And because the field, the source of life within yourself is a field of infinite happiness, the mind is naturally and effortlessly drawn to that field of infinite happiness. It's just like when you throw a pebble in the ocean, what happens? The pebble naturally is drawn to the bottom. Why? Because it's gravity. It's pulled in, right? Similarly, the mind is naturally drawn within because there's an ocean of bliss that's hiding deep in the depths of yours. In everyone, this ocean of bliss is present, and you're naturally drawn to this place. Only thing is you need a vehicle. When you repeat it, the mantra, when you repeat it, we only use it for the sound value. When you repeat the sound, your mind and body starts to settle down and it's drawn within. And then the natural tendency of the mind takes over. Natural means three things. It is effortless, it is easy, and it's automatic. It's natural to sleep. It's easy, automatic, and effortless to sleep. As soon as you try to sleep, it's not going to work, right? Similarly, it's natural to speak. It's easy, effortless, and automatic. As soon as you struggle and it's not going to work, it has to be natural. And natural means easy, effortless, and automatic. So when we say the Thijm technique is a natural technique, because we use the natural tendency of the mind, it means that the Thijm technique will be using something that's naturally, the mind is naturally drawn within to the bottom of the ocean. Only thing is you need a vehicle, and that's the mantra, to naturally go and dive within. All you need to do is take a correct angle in the ocean and you let go. And then the body will naturally flow to the bottom. Because it's drawn to that area. It's like a magnet. This is the bank that everybody's looking for, the bank that has millions of dollars. Marcia said we're like a multimillionaire that has forgotten our wealth and status, and we go onto the street begging for a few pennies. All right? So that's what it is. Now, how does this differ from other meditation techniques? Other meditation techniques, there are two large groups of meditation techniques. One is concentration techniques, and one is contemplation techniques. Concentration techniques means a guru gives you a mantra. He can also give you a mantra to concentrate on. And he said, Om Namah Shivaya, concentrate on that. And if the mind drifts, make effort to come back to that one thought. And if it drifts off, make effort to come back. Maharishi says it's just like when you learn to swim, you stay afloat, you stay on the surface of the ocean, because the activity of effort withholds the mind to become non-active, to become silent. When you make effort, that activity of effort withholds the mind to become non-active, to become silent. So TM is not a concentration technique for that reason. We don't use it like that. We don't use the mantra like that, okay? You can also concentrate on a candlelight. That's what the Rosicrucians do. You can concentrate on all kinds of things. Concentrate on the sunlight or the moonlight or whatever, or concentrate on the center of your eyes or whatever on your nose. All of these are concentration techniques. The effort involved in that withholds the mind, doesn't allow the mind to settle down because it's on the active level of effort. All right, the other group of meditation techniques is contemplation techniques. And contemplation is like mindfulness. You either are a silent witness of your thoughts, and you see it coming up and you look at it, and or a guru can give you an idea. Think about this, contemplate about this. God is life. And you think about, okay, God is life. And life, okay, what does it mean? God is life. Life is my loved ones, my children, my husband, my wife. And then it goes from one thought to another thought to another thought. It's like, Maharishi says, it's like swimming on the surface of the ocean, because the activity of swimming is an activity that withholds the mind again to settle down to the bottom of the ocean. All you need to do with TM is follow the natural tendency of the mind. The natural tendency of the mind is to go to more happiness, more peace, more rest, more silence, and that's already within yourself. And you will naturally, effortlessly, quickly reach the bottom of the ocean. And that's what you will learn. This is all theory, but you will learn that in the instruction when you learn the technique, okay? So that's what you learn. And the mantra is just a vehicle to go inwards. And we will teach you how to use the mantra properly. That is the technique we'll teach you. And the technique is very, very simple. But that's what you will learn in those 3 days. Well, right from the beginning, actually, you'll get it. So Transcendental Meditation is taught only by qualified teachers that has been personally trained by Maharishi Mahesh Yogi for 4 or 5 months, and to give the technique in its purity. The technique is given, but before that, we do a ceremony of thanks, of gratitude. We do a ceremony of gratitude. That's something between teacher and his teacher, and where the person that's learning the technique is asked to be a silent witness. And for that, we have a picture of the great masters. One of them is the most recently deceased master of Maharishi, as Guru Dev we call him. His name is Swami Brahmananda Saraswati, Maharishi's master, from whom we've gotten this meditation technique. Transcendental meditation is taught in the name of this tradition of great masters that since the beginning of time has held this meditation technique in its purity, and because of the purity of the technique, its effectiveness till today. All right, the effectiveness is felt, and you feel right from the start. You start to feel the silence and the depths, and Maharishi has found that because of impurity over generations and thousands of years, impurity has crept in the meditation, and people thought it was difficult to do. You have to be a reclusive to do it. You have to be a vegetarian to do it. You don't have to be any of that. You just need to follow the natural tendency of the mind. When you learn the technique, you'll do that. So for the ceremony, the gratitude ceremony, we ask the person that's going to learn We take care of most of it, but we ask the person to bring a few things from his side or her side. At least 5 flowers. It can be any kind of flowers. It can be roses, flowers, doesn't matter. More the merrier. A white, unused, brand new handkerchief or a cotton piece of cloth, and 2 or 3 or 4 sweet fruits like apples, bananas, things like that. And we also ask a one-time donation to the movement. And the donation is not to learn the technique itself. The donation is to maintain the center. That's, you're probably paying rent for the center. We're probably paying rent all over, and all the centers we're paying for the maintenance of the center and for the maintenance of the purity of the teaching throughout the world, because a part of it also goes to the Vedic Pandits to support them. So this one-time donation is dependent on the country you're learning from. The developed countries have a higher fee than the developing countries. And so you can also pay it in 4 installments, but I'm not sure what the fee structure will be for Canada, but it's you'll have to see what it is there. I'm not sure what it is, but it's the reason that you can follow a lecture now is because in the past, someone has made a one-time donation. One-time donation is not for the TM technique, because the TM technique is you cannot put it in monetary terms because it's a lifelong technique. It's a technique that is worth its price in gold. It is, I've been practicing it for more than a couple of decades now. It is a technique that is lifelong. So you're paying more for the maintenance of the TM movement in that country and for the international movements activities, and for we're taking care of the Vedic Pandits there. We're sponsoring also many people that don't have the money. We will help sponsor them with reduced fees and all that. But for those that can afford it, we ask at least a one-time payment, or you can have that payment in 4 installments in 4 months' time. So there are some requirements to learn the TM technique, and that is you have to have at least 24 hours no alcohol, at least 15 days no experimental drugs, and that is like marijuana, hashish, and stuff like that. And you need the time to meditate regularly, twice a day, because that's where the benefits are hidden in regular meditation, and the time to come to those sessions, the 4 successive days, the day of initiation and the 3 days afterwards. And the one-time donation is required. Those are the 4 requirements. So that's it. Are there any questions about the second lecture?
No, that's wonderful. I have more of an insight now onto what's involved.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for all of that. Very thorough.
I'm happy you will start eventually. I hope someone contact you. I know some people there. I can contact them to see if they're involved, but they might be in Toronto, so they will refer anyhow to the Quebec teachers there, and they will teach you. They're trained in the same way, and they will teach you the meditation technique as Marshy wanted to be taught.
Okay.
So that's it. You follow the first and second step. You can tell the person that you follow the first and second step, but he might want you, because he doesn't know you. You follow the first and second step all over again, but you just have to patiently. But you learn again when you listen to it again and again, because you might have missed some things in the first part. And every teacher gives their lecture in a very different way. Only the second lecture is standard. Everybody gives it in the same way. Right. And maybe not with beautiful grass and all of that. That's our thing that we do. They might just give it out, by memory. Like that.
Yeah.
So any questions you have there?
Okay, well, I'm very excited to start.
Well,
I don't think so. I think it's pretty straightforward. I love how everything just aligns with how how I function. And I love the ritualistic aspect of it too. So, and having a mantra, I think will make a difference. And it's very similar to the techniques that I do in my own meditation of it's a mixture. Like I couldn't put it into a category to say I only do mindfulness or mantra, like it varies, but allowing myself to go beyond the process of thought and entering into a little bit more of a deep relaxed state. And that's where you kind of get like, the visuals and the visions and the auditories. And
Wonderful.
so
wonderful.
I
And
think
how old are your kids?
my kids are 7, 4, and 3.
Woo! You'll have your hands full.
Yeah. Yeah, they definitely keep me busy. So
right. So when they're 10 years old, they can learn the sitting technique.
Oh.
But even when they're young like this, they can learn what they call a walking mantra. From, I think, 5 years old onwards, they can playfully do a couple of minutes, repeating of a word of wisdom, they call it. But it's just, it's fun.
Yeah, and they love it because mine's, we sit and every night we do like the Gayatri mantra and we say things that we're thankful for. So all 3 of them have it memorized, they know, and they teach me yoga moves for fun. They lead classes with us together as a family.
That's
so
great.
they're pretty into it.
I'm so happy that that your family is like that, because we need more of you guys and more of you to spread this knowledge, because I think you will be a wonderful potential TM teacher in the future if you love it that much. You'll see how nice it is.
Thank you. I believe it. I really do. I do, because the meditation practice, I don't think I could have gotten through a lot of things in my life if I didn't have my meditation practice. Like I was telling Radha, I'm up at 5 o'clock every day. 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm up because that's my quiet time. So I go downstairs, I have my altar, and that's where I do my meditation, my yoga, my pranayamas. And then around 7, I get my day started with the kids.
That's just wonderful. Now, I don't know, what time does the sun rises there in Canada?
It's usually anywhere between 6 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if you count 1.5 hours back, that's the ideal time to start. It's called the Brahma Murti, you know?
Exactly. That's why I'm up about 4:35. So I have that
ideal time to meditate, to create and fulfill all your desires and through meditation and all that.
Oh yeah, that's where everything comes to me. Like everything comes to me in the morning. That's where I function. And then the rest of the day, I'm going through my day. Like that's where I get the most done in that hour and a half by doing nothing.
That's right. That's what, I forgot to mention is TM is just like, you start to do less and accomplish more, because you become more orderly, more efficient. You start to do less and accomplish. It's just like when you pull an arrow, you know, when you have an arrow on a bow, it's in rest.
Yeah.
But when you loosen up, it falls down, right? But when you pull it 20 do you use centimeters there in Canada?
Yeah.
When you put 20 centimeters back, it's also in rest, but it's in dynamic rest, because when you loosen it up, it shoots in dynamic activity. Similarly, when you pull yourself back to 20 minutes morning, evening, you prepare yourself for dynamic activity, purposeful activity, successful activity. And that's the purpose of the whole meditation, to enjoy and become efficient in your activity. So good luck with all of that. And it's nice
Thank
meeting
you so very much. Thank you for the introduction and everything, and taking the time to go through all the slides with me. I really, really appreciate it. And sending me the links for the teachers. And I appreciate it so much.
You're very welcome. Radha's with her cousin here. Her cousin has a visit, so she's just for a moment here with her. But it's nice. And you let us know when you start. It would be wonderful to hear.
I will give it a little while to see if I hear from anybody, or I'll try to reach out again, see if there's anyone I can find or contact around here to get started.
Is there like a physical place there that in Quebec that they have a TM center?
Yeah, well, on the website, it said that it was closed for COVID reasons. And that they weren't doing so they weren't doing anything in-house, but that's why they have you fill out the form and then they send it to someone, they'll contact you and I guess figure out Do
Yeah.
you have to go to the TM center? Like, so if I found a teacher here and I would say, okay, we could do it at my center, would they come to my center? Like, do you do that? Or
It's
it has to,
possible. It depends on the teacher and yourself, what you
Okay.
agree on. As
Yeah.
long as it's a quiet place, then it's okay.
yeah, okay. Okay,
I guess he can do that. And what they do is the initiation is personal,
yeah,
and then they take COVID measures like distance and all that because they
Yeah.
don't want to endanger anyone, right? That's why the movement,
Right.
the international movement give this COVID instructions where you have, but the initiation has to be personal.
okay,
And then the fourth, fifth, and sixth day can be online, like how we're doing right now.
yeah, okay.
So
Perfect,
that's how it's done.
wonderful. I'm so very excited to start.
Great, great. Well, I
Yeah.
hope that you start soon enough and that
Yeah.
that you will enjoy it. And maybe bring your husband to the intro lecture.